Punisher co-creator Gary Conway wants character rebooted as Black Vet, who faces the issues that minorities in the world face today. So this is stunning and brave. I never heard of a comic book tackle such deep and philosophical problems. Now, do you know what the sad thing is? The sad thing is that this would actually be an interesting story. I would love to read, unironically, about such a character. The problem, however, is that instead of being creative and making a new character, they want to reboot the Punisher. So what is the issue? Why are people so upset whenever this happens? Well, if I want to read Frank Castle, if I want to read the current Punisher, then I won't be able to. There's no more comics with the Punisher. He is being replaced by another guy. And that is the issue. That is why people are so upset when you do this race swapping thing. Because a new character comes up with a new personality, new dialogue, new everything. So if you're a person that grew up with the Punisher and legitimately likes this superhero and you want to read more, like you want to give Marvel your money, Marvel doesn't want to take your money. And then Marvel ends up with the new comic getting canceled. So that is the sadness of it all. This is why people don't like woke washing, especially in comics. There used to be a time when every single Marvel superhero from the Avengers got woke washed. So you'd have people go and see the Avengers movie, which was highly popular and they would like it. And when they actually went to read the comics, none of the heroes they saw on the big screen was in the comics. Instead of Iron Man, they had Ironheart. Instead of Wolverine, they had a female Wolverine. Instead of Thor, they had female Thor. Every single superhero, instead of the Hulk, they had an Asian Hulk. Like, unironically, every single superhero. Captain America was replaced by a black guy. Like, everyone got changed. So, this is horrible marketing. I've no idea what goes on into the heads of the executive at Marvel. Surely they want to make some money. Surely they're not that detached to the customer. So, again, you can have this story. It's not a bad story. You can have it. But why not make it another guy? And then people who want to read Frank Castle can read Frank Castle. And because they like reading Frank Castle, they would probably like reading the new guy as well. But no, instead you're taking away something that the people already want to pay for. And instead you're giving them something else. And they might not want that. They might want some Japanese manga instead. You know, it's very interesting because every now and then all these comic book companies, they release issues from the past. So they reprint an issue. And the reprints, they sell. Like, it shows that they used to make good stories. It sells a lot. But the new stories don't sell. And it's because they keep antagonizing the customer. It's like selling Coca-Cola. And it's an international brand. Everyone knows about it. You already have your consumer base that are going to purchase Coca-Cola every day. And you artistically decide to sell Coca-Cola strawberry. But instead of having like an alternative, you just replace the drink. So no one can buy the original now. Everyone can only buy the new strawberry flavor. And a lot of people may not like it, so you end up with fewer sales. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, by the way, Coca-Cola actually did this in the past. They actually changed the formula for their drink and people didn't like the new one. And they almost ended up bankrupt. Look it up. But yeah, so another thing which bothers me is that they're like, face the issues that minorities in the world face today. You don't have the balls to make a story about the issues that minorities face in the world today. The only balls you have is to focus on the United States, but you're not going to show like the issues that the Uyghurs face in China or the Kurds face in the Middle East. You don't have the balls because you're a Marvel writer. Let's be honest. You can't sack up and actually make good content because you're not allowed. Your ideology shackles you. You are chained by your ideology. You can't make interesting story. Do you know what would be an interesting story? What happens in Mexico with the cartels, which cause people to flee from Mexico into the United States. The corruption from the Mexican government, which causes people to flee poverty from Mexico. Those would be interesting stories. I don't think there is any comic book that touches on them. You're not going to see them. And they would also be very powerful. Like, a lot of people would start sympathizing with immigrants. Like, teenagers would be like, oh my God, I didn't know that it's that bad in Mexico. I can understand why you fled. Like, that would actually bring people together, comics like that. But you're not going to see them. Instead, it's going to focus on America racist, blah, 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 blah. Even with the Democrats in charge, even with the Democrats having the White House and the Democrats having a majority in both the Senate and the House, America is still racist. And you know what the solution is? Vote more Democrats. Even more. Even more, because there's always more work to be done. No matter how many Democrats you vote, there is more racism. And the solution, more Democrats, more government, more power. Says the corporations who want tax cuts from the government. Take into account that Marvel probably wants to sell their comics, not to you, but to a library, to a school, to something that can tap into that sweet, sweet taxpayer money so that they can bypass the customer. That is the goal. Or hopefully they can get picked up by Hollywood and then turned into a movie. And they can get royalties from that. That is what the comic book industry is like now, and that is why it's worse than manga. Because manga focuses on the person wanting to buy the manga. Comic books tries to bypass the customer, whether it is to sell it to the government through schools and libraries, or hoping that someone at Hollywood or Netflix is going to give them a movie deal. And it's very sad. And what's really sad about this, by the way, is that they're also rebooting the Punisher TV show. And they're choosing the same actors, so it's going to be great. Like, the Punisher TV show was really good, by the way. So they're rebooting that, and instead of, like, keeping the original Punisher so that people who like the TV show could buy the comic book, they're going to change the hero in the comic book right now. I mean, honestly, these people are high on crack. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, get someone that actually knows how to do marketing. Get Belle Delphine. Belle Delphine knows how to sell stuff. She's able to sell her own bathwater. She's not educated. She didn't go to academia to learn the intricacies of marketing, but she can definitely sell a product. And if anyone can sell your garbage, Marvel, it's probably her. Hire Belle Delphine. Look, I'll do you a favor. You can even put her as a diversity hire, and you have more women in your company. And put her into marketing so that she can come up with solutions. Because clearly you lack the competent people in order to figure out how to sell a product. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.